Yo, Bryce
Hey.
Castillo. How are
Hi.
you, sir?
Good. How are you, Brian?
I'm good. We got on the line. We have Meryl Barr. How are you, sir? Oh, nope. You're still muted. I hit the wrong button. That's me.
I'm live?
No, yeah. Oh, you're in.
All right, cool.
You're in.
Cool.
Hello, everybody.
Theme song is what makes this show official. It's no longer it goes from being the thing that we're doing in quarantine until quarantine is over. And now it's like,
if you have
oh,
a theme
no, this
song,
is
it's a legitimate business enterprise.
Now it's this is another extension of the product, and it will be going forever.
You were telling me about some documentary series.
Oh, yes, if we want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
I just watched the reviews are out, so I know there's not an embargo, so I can talk about it. So there's a new Netflix docuseries coming up called High Score.
Yep.
I don't think it's made by the same team that did the Toys That Made Us and Movies That Made Us, but it's got that same vibe.
Yeah. Feels like it.
And what they cover is it's another one of those documentaries covering the early days of video games. But whereas normal versions of this usually go, here's everything that happened until E.T. came out, and then E.T. broke the industry, and the video games were never heard from again.
Right.
That's your typical documentary about video games. This goes like the first episode covers that entire era, and I haven't watched the rest yet, but the other descriptions make it seem like they're going to go all the way up to the invention of 3D modeling in gaming, like the N64, PlayStation era. But like in the first episode, they go into
all the way up to 1992.
Right.
We've done it. New territory, people.
Because the description of the last of the 6 episodes starts with Nintendo launches 3D with Star Fox. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So like, that's what gives me the assumption. But in the first episode, they go into the origins of modding, which is actually something I've never seen covered before, and how Missile Command spurred this whole other realm of gaming where these college kids from MIT realized people were coming in playing Missile Command, getting really good at Missile Command, and stopped playing it, so revenue for the cabinet would go down. So they said, what if we made a modification to the game to add new things to it and sell that modification kit to
This feels close to like the Miss Pac-Man. There was like a faster Miss Pac-Man.
Well, no, this leads to that. So
Yeah.
what happened? Yeah. So what happened was they do this for Missile Command, and then Atari sues them because they're like, because
you changed our book. It would be the
Right.
equivalent of J.K. Rowling saying Harry Potter didn't turn into a robot.
Right, and worse
And he
is that
should
people
have, frankly.
I agree. Thank you.
Harry
I'm
Potter.
I'm glad somebody said it.
And the worst part, well,
Harry
not the worst
Potter.
part, but
That
then
should've been
Atari's claim is like not only did they
Potter.
Potter, that's right. Sorry.
H.A.R.R.Y. Potter.
Well, Atari's claim is not only did they do that, but also they're making it seem like Atari's the one putting out the modification. And
Right.
they're not. So, but then what happened was Atari realized that if the kids won the suit, it would set legal precedent for other people to fuck with their games.
It would be big in the way that the Betamax decision was big, where
Right.
Because previous to the Betamax, nobody had paused to question: is it literally legal to record a television program? And the answer they came up with was yes, if it is for the intention of time shifting. That's where
Yeah.
I mean that's why TiVo exists, is because of that decision.
So they decided to settle the suit on the agreement that the kids would come work for Atari, and any future modifications made would have to get permission from the company that they're modding. So that's how Pac-Man happens. These are the same guys that came up with a mod of Pac-Man that they were about to put out. So then they couldn't. So they go to Midway and they say, "Hey, Midway, we just beat Atari in a lawsuit," which didn't actually happen. They settled, but we just beat Atari, Midway.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go to court with us too, you should let us mod your Pac-Man game. And then Miss Pac-Man was born.
Oh wait, holy cow! Wait, they're the team that brought us Miss Pac-Man.
They're the team that created Miss Pac-Man.
The superior one, because Pac-Man, if I remember correctly, one of the flaws of that game is that everything runs on a pattern, whereas
Yes.
Miss Pac-Man actually required a bit more skill because there was a tiny bit of AI of the ghosts making decisions of which way they wanted to run.
But in Pac-Man, the ghost had AI.
Not in the first one. Apparently,
same way.
they just ran a pattern.
That's weird.
Yeah, right?
That's
weird.
why, and that's what
Yeah.
that's what the flaw of the game was on a revenue place was eventually people were mastering the pattern and thus not playing the game anymore, which thus this mod fixed, and then they were able to re-release Pac-Man in a whole new way, and then Pac-Man blows up.
See,
Yeah.
I thought they did have different patterns because that was the whole idea of them being different ghosts, and like, you know, the pink one would always like be kind of out doing his own little thing, and the
Each
red
ghost
one would
had
be
its
more
own
direct.
pattern.
Right.
Yeah, each ghost had its own pattern.
But they were all on rails. They all ran the same thing every single time, which is why it's possible to play a perfect game of Pac-Man, but it's not possible to play. I mean, unless you're a quote unquote perfect game of Miss Pac-Man. Like sooner or later, the fact that the ghosts are AI generated and random. At one point, they're gonna fake you out left and then turn right and get you. Whereas
Interesting, 'cause-
that
but-
never happens on Pac-Man.
In Pac-Man, the ghosts will chase you.
I am only parroting stuff I've heard. Maybe here.
Falcon says it's not a pattern, but it has really simple rules that you can manipulate. I would believe if it's like they're always going to follow these rules, and so you can juke them into, you know, an ideal path with a lack of randomness. But if the ghosts chase you, I don't think it could be a set, you know, a perfectly set pattern.
Let me here. I'm gonna type in differences.
Sure. No, she has a bow. That's gonna be number one.
she's empowered.
She's got a little bit of lipstick on the lips.
The really hilarious thing about that is they talk about in the documentary that Pac-Man was invented because they noticed women weren't coming into arcades, and they wanted to make a game women would want to play. So they found that if you made a game about eating instead of shooting, women would want to come in and play it.
Yeah.
So that's how Pac-Man was born. I just find it funny that then the mod is Miss Pac-Man to get women on into the arcade.
What an ethos also. We need women to come into the arcade. Let's make a game about eating. Okay, so the differences between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man from the website.
Yeah. Looks
Meat
like
Is this website from 1993?
looks like maybe a GeoCities. Difference. Title of game is Pac-Man. Other difference. Title of game is Ms. Pac-Man.
Oh, okay. So so intro music's eating dots.
Bunch of tiny
Look for
differences.
ghosts. We're looking for ghosts.
I'm gonna type in the word pattern. Nope. Oh, patterns.
Patterns. Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Patterns. Ooh,
What do we got?
here
What do we
go.
got?
Patman.
Also good use of Comic Sans.
Thank you very much, Me Dragon. So yeah, try what's the pattern on the cherry level? What does that mean?
Feel comfortable putting my cherry and strawberry patterns on the web since I made them myself, but other patterns I use modified versions of other people's. Oh, okay. So it's just
Oh, so he's telling you how he's telling you what
it's
pattern you can
how to
follow.
win.
I see.
Uh,
Isn't that funny? The idea of like,
Patterns?
Here's a
Yeah.
strategy guide. Here's the Prima's official strategy guide to Pac-Man Arcade.
dude, I'll tell you what, man. When you're in 7th grade, that shit is gold. Like if
I
you have a
used-
secret way to get a higher score than everybody, when you could go rolling just into your the hangout and just kill it. Yep.
I used to buy like for almost every game I owned the official how to play guide from the official company.
I
So, like,
remember there was a full-on paperback book, like picture me holding my fingers about an inch wide,
Yeah.
like that thick. That was nothing but how to beat Dragon's Lair. Like page 1,
No,
like,
yeah, that makes sense.
go left. Page
yeah.
2, when you see this, go right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I had
Page
that
3,
for-
yeah.
I had that for I think I had whatever the Metroid game was on GameCube that blew up. I had that.
Oh, Prime, I think.
Metroid
Yeah.
Prime. I had that for Metroid Prime. I had that for that third-person Bond game that was Brosnan's last like play as Bond in anything.
Yeah.
Everything or Nothing. I had it for Everything or Nothing. Like I had it for almost every game I owned because I was too lazy to learn how to win games.
I mean, nowadays you just
I had
Nowadays, you just watch a YouTube playthrough.
Go to Reddit or whatever.
yeah, pull up the Steam guide.
Yeah.
Speaking of
do you
which,
want-
apropos of nothing, I was really, really flattered that somebody said
Oh.
something really nice
Uh-huh.
on Reddit, which is not normally a place I see nice surprise things. But somebody
Oh
said,
yeah, I saw you tweet about this.
yeah. Somebody said, I feel like
How
Brian's
does
what
this have
happens.
200 upvotes? I mean, this is not a dig.
No. But
Modern Rogue subreddit is
I'm
not.
with you. It's not a big subreddit.
What?
You know,
Posted by, posted by, was it Fat Moist
Yam. Fat moist yam.
That's the new Cardi B song, right?
But maybe it's I don't know. It struck me probably because we've been playing D&D lately with the family, and there have been a couple of awesome nat 20s rolled. I think we talked about one of them on the air where an entire campaign. I think you were hovering around doing work, and the entire campaign you were being very patient.
Oh yes. I was here early for a shoot.
Bonnie, as a rogue, was having trouble. Like every one of her misses missed, and so I would pull out like my musical instruments as a bard and make fun of her. And then the campaign ended. We finally killed the last rat, and then Bonnie says, "I kick Brian in the nuts," and Penny was like, "Well, roll." And she rolled a 20. And it's like you kick him in the nuts so hard he's bowled over. Like, I don't know, those natural 20 moments are pretty
natural
great.
20 to kicking someone in the nuts should mean that the nuts don't work anymore.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, unless she
Okay,
said
I
mean, I guess-
non-lethal. If she said non-lethal, then we would be talking a different game.
I mean,
but-
also, if the nuts didn't work, that would be canon, given that I had a vasectomy. So it's like that's in universe. Like I think that tracks.
Oh geez.
Oh,
as a non D&D player that understands nothing, I have one question.
Yeah.
I'm not
20
gonna
is
ask what
good.
I'm not gonna ask what I'm not gonna ask what natural 20 is. I assume it's when 20 shows up on the 20-sided die. 20 is
Yes.
the number you roll.
Correct.
and it's-
The D20 is the most commonly rolled die, but there's all these modifiers. So you have to distinguish between a ultimate value of 20 and a natural 20. A natural 20 is known as a critical hit. Like
So when
something
you're rolling for
very,
something,
very special happens.
you almost always succeed at what you want, or
Right,
you
But
almost.
then,
right.
do the other dice also factor in if a 20 rolls?
It's usually only
shows up?
one die.
Yeah.
It's usually only one
Oh,
die.
you're only
At-
rolling one die
at a
Got it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if you want to roll for damage, you'll roll a different. You're not going to roll. Usually, like I want to do a thing is a D20. What are the effects of the thing? Maybe it's a D4. Maybe it's a whatever, a D6 or a D12 or so on.
Damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of
Got
fact, for our family campaign, we just switched over to a kind of simpler set of rules where to do a thing, everybody rolls the D20, but to defend against a thing, you have 3 dice of 3 different colors. And when you roll those 3 dice for initiative, you're able to sort of pick one of them and lock them in if it's particularly good. And based on the color of the die, somebody in the chat almost certainly knows the name of this system. But I like it a lot. It really leans into the storytelling aspect of everything instead of overcomplicating it and making it more of a video game.
That reminds me a little bit. So the big D&D podcast is The Adventure Zone. We went and saw them live.
Yeah.
Last year or the year before.
It was really. I was thinking about that yesterday, and I was kind of taken by how sweet it was that you were like, "Now, Brian, you do understand what you're about to watch, don't you?" And then I basically, dismissively was like, "Yeah, it's pretty much, Harmontown, whatever." And then
He just knew we were going to see a podcast and just thought, it's just gonna be
no.
funny.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's going to be the D&D part of Harmontown.
Oh, yeah, they do
Harmon
D&D.
Quest, right?
Yeah.
And then as we were talking, person in the row in front of us is like, "Yeah, only they care more."
I don't remember. That's good.
like it was great.
They, not this current game that they're doing, but the last one they did, they had, if someone in the chat maybe knows, they played they played a non-D&D game system, which was kind of similar. Where
You remember which one?
Yeah, hot beverages in the Amnesty one. What was the name of it? It's like a story based one where instead of doing a lot of D20 rolls, you roll for like Monster of the Week. I think that's it. Where you would tend to just roll D6s for most things, and it would be fail. It would be much more success or fail, right? It was not a lot of modifying going on. It was not a lot of
Like, did it work or
attributes.
not? Yeah.
Basically. Or it would be like, okay, we were like moderately successful, so you tell me what happened. So it was very story based.
Yeah.
Which I was not a fan of. I kind of liked the mechanics of it, but
Our
What are we talking about here?
D&D.
D&D.
Yeah.
Hey, can you get me on the old Skype already?
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry.
click the
Hey,
actually.
what's up?
Can you call in? I think that
He just tried to.
I've been, yeah.
yeah, hit me again. There it is. Yeah.
And now I've gone on hold with that video.
Good. You belong there.
In the top right
Just-
corner, there's a little
There we
person.
go. Yep.
Okay.
Right. We're
Yeah.
good.
If you could just mute.
Oh, yep. Now we're good. So in our latest
Wait, am I getting
campaign,
video? No video back. Should I get off the Skype? part of this?
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, just listen.
Figure it
Twitch.tv
out.
slash
Just listen in.
Night
You're good.
Attack.
There's
I guess
nothing
I'm,
going on.
I'm just
on
listening.
screen.
I will not see video.
It's a radio
All right.
show for you. Our latest campaign had us coming into a small town and not knowing what it was. We entered a contest, and it turns out that it's essentially like America's Got Talent.
Oh.
And so me being a bard, like it was a lot of fun. I don't know. I know like 4 chords on a guitar, so I usually have the guitar out and will just like as a bard just kind of jam and improv a silly song or whatever, and then roll the dice to see how it lands with the audience. Awfully close to my actual career. But,
Justin, you ever play D&D? You ever do any D&D tabletop?
You want to know what? Considering the fact that I spent my youth in a Renaissance recreation society,
What?
I no. Like it's one of the greatest upsets of my life that I've never been part of a D&D campaign, considering that it's literally the culmination of like all the things that I both enjoy and am good at.
improvising, storytelling,
improvising storytelling,
figuring out unique takes on things,
like medieval fantasy worlds,
being
like,
lucky
you know,
at rolling dice.
It's really funny because like I had D&D stolen from me by my bullies of all people when I was growing up. Like my bullies were the one that played D&D and kept me out of it. So I had a hard life growing.
Oh, you had nerd bullies, Meryl?
I had nerd bullies.
Nerd bullies are the worst.
They are.
All right. No. I think it's time to do this. You walk into school. You're in 5th grade, and you love D&D. All of a sudden, a group of bullies comes towards you. What do?
Is this where I have to roll the die?
Hey, shut up! I'm the DM here.
You just say what you
I'm
do.
the captain
Wait,
now.
you also-
I don't know.
Yeah,
This is why not being able to see has a drawback.
Meryl, trust me, you would get no help if you were just looking at us. Like, I think it is a great benefit that you not seeing us blankly looking at you is, that is to your benefit here.
One of the bullies slaps his hand into his other hand and says,
Hey, let me see that dice bag.
"What do?"
Run.
Okay. What's your dexterity?
I don't know what that means.
God damn it! All right.
Come on. I thought you wanted to do D&D. Okay.
I do, but you got to teach me the. You have to teach me
This is the difference between writers and improv.
Yeah, I'm not an
comedians.
improviser.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago I'm bad at improv.
Hey,
Just-
kid, give me your stools.
Yeah.
Because you have stools on stage for them.
No,
got
like one of those vivid memories I have. Now, granted, I'll say as a child, like because I had no friends, so I like would go hang out with them because I had nowhere else to be.
Mhm.
So they would go during lunch, like go play D&D in the library, and I would go to the library and just watch. And at one point, the kid goes, "Meryl, you want to get, you want to join the game?" I go, "Sure." And then the kid like does a thing where he's like creates a character, rolls a thing, says a bunch of shit, says, "And now you're dead." And like over the course of a minute, and then like that's the level of bullshit.
Hey, I have a total non sequitur here, but I feel like Bryce might know more than I do. Where are we at on the TikTok thing? Are they getting bought? Are they getting banned? Bought or banned?
Government says it's going to be banned.
Mm.
Microsoft
Government
was-
says, government says September. It was the 15th. It might have gotten pushed back a little bit into like the 20th.
Are we also banning Nintendos and Segas and?
They are not based in mainland China, so no. The
Oh,
focus here is
Yeah, that's
on
Japan.
the focus here is on Chinese apps.
Tencent and
although
ByteDance.
that-
What about 5G?
Yeah.
No, Huawei or
Huawei. No, it's still no
Huawei?
Huawei.
Well, we had no Huawei here for a while. Like that was something that was actually like on a government level was being pushed back against for years now, and now the UK is even pushing back against Huawei as part of our 5G backbone. But so basically right now Microsoft is negotiating with ByteDance to buy them. I presume that this is a complicated sale, number one, because they're negotiating the scope, i.e., will they sell the UK territories and others? And the other side is that what do you pay if TikTok was just up for grabs? It would probably be a couple $2 billion. But considering this is a everything must go situation, I
Right.
can assume that Microsoft is like, I don't know, what do you want? $150? $150?
But there is
It's
talk-
pretty fucked
yes.
up, right?
Mhm.
This is a mob sale, basically. It's just like,
well, and the government.
hey, you're out.
The government
somebody-
had things to say. China said, "You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that." And the American government said, "We want a cut of that sale."
Yeah, right. Because it's like, I mean, I practically brokered the deal. Yes, by demanding that it happened.
But
Yeah.
there is.
Wait,
I know
what is this
was-
update? I don't know this update. What is this update?
No, this was something that Trump said, and again, it's one of those things that like you have no idea what he actually means. You have no idea if he means that like there's gonna have to be like a tax paid on the sale that would go to the treasury, or if it would have to, Microsoft would be required to keep the money on shore and not offshore. It's just one of those Trump things that just flies out of his mouth and
He
is
says
just
they're
kind
going
of
to
into
keep
the
it on a
ether.
leash, and then stock prices on leashes go up. So
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know, and we have no idea what the American government component, or if it's just like one of those Trump things where it's like, well, if I fought the Iraq war, I'd keep the oil, and it's like, okay, who knows? Yeah, well, I
Justin,
don't even know what that means.
Did you guys talk about the Fortnite stuff on DTNS today, or was that too late breaking?
Oh hell yeah, no, we.
So what is this?
So this morning, an update for Fortnite went out, so you can buy V-Bucks, the in-game currency, on all of the platforms. So on Apple, you do it through the Apple Pay. With Google, you do it through there. You can do it on the computer, whatever. They added an update to the iOS version of Fortnite today, where you could directly pay Epic. So instead of using the little Apple Pay thing, you put your credit card in through the Epic game system. And that is a big, huge red no-no on the iOS store. You do not do that.
Absolutely
Although-
not allowed.
Well, although Audible for 10 full years or 12 full years, you could not buy Audible credits, or you could not use Audible credits within the system. And it's only been this year that I guess they got cozy enough that it's like, hey, can we let people use credits that they've already purchased inside our app?
They are a premium service. No, Apple still gets a cut. It was a matter of Amazon and Apple negotiating exactly what that cut was going to be to Apple. So Apple basically says anything that you spend inside our platform, we get the troll toll. And the troll toll was 30% for everything. And so Amazon, being
Every
a gigantic
boy's
company, for
So so they had the update go out, and you can put all your credit card information through the Epic Games store. And Apple said, nope, that's not how things work. You know what you're doing, so we are going to delist you from the App Store, which they did. And then a few hours
Now,
ago,
Fortnite. Is Fortnite a turn-based game, or is that
no, it is a shooting game.
It's a shoot- right, so
it's a stay alive till be the last
battle
one
royale.
standing.
right?
Yeah.
So that's on the iOS store anyway.
It's
to
everywhere.
Play?
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
everywhere.
yeah.
They do
There's
have an
like-
iOS
It
version.
is the
It
biggest
is.
game
It
in the
is.
world.
It is quite simply the
Boy,
biggest
I
video
am-
game.
I
on the
am
planet.
I'm just
loving
trying.
Meryl Barr
I
as
this
my
again,
dad.
Well, this goes.
This
This
is
ties into like
amazing.
this. Look, here's the thing. I've been out of the game world for about 10 years and kind of missed a whole decade of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I just played.
then we're very glad to have your commentary
Yes.
on this late-breaking story.
Okay, and let's make that the story. How little do you know about video games? All right, sorry, go
Tell
ahead.
me to do one of the Fortnite dances. No. So Epic files a lawsuit against Apple for no damages, but for an injunction against anti-competitive practices in the iOS app distribution market
Right.
and in the iOS app payment processing market.
I tend to be pro competition, but I can't even that's word salad to me. It's like iOS built their own place, and it's like you build your playground, and then somebody kicks the door in and starts, and then says metaphors. Anyway.
Understand this. This does not happen in a vacuum. All the tech CEOs were all on Zoom for a House committee hearing 2 weeks ago. The Apple part of the anti-competitive ecosystem is exactly what Fortnite is filing this lawsuit for. They understand that Apple are under the eye of federal regulators. They have no hope to win this in any kind of speedy time. They know two things: they can live without Apple iOS revenue, and they have a lot of money, and they can afford to fight this thing in court for the 15 years that it's going to be there.
And that Apple's a little bit embattled right now.
And they want to put a thumb right in Apple's eye right now, specifically. So when they next go in front of House regulators, they're like, what happened with Fortnite? And you have a bunch of Senator Tankerbells explaining, how video games work.
What was really interesting, so I read through a lot of the lawsuit here right before Happy Hour started. So they have a lot of hey, here are all of the recent anti-competitive things with Apple, all the things that you've probably heard about in the news. But the one that I had not been aware of, but makes a lot of sense. So Steam, right? Steam, the PC games market.
The world's number one gaming platform. Full stop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They are they do PC games. And even though you go on the computer and you do it and you see there's a million fucking phone games on there.
Right.
A lot of free to play, just fucking garbage.
He said that with such ire too. Like he's been
everyone
forced
knows
to
it.
play.
Everybody knows. If Gabe Newell was right here, he'd be like, "Yeah, dog, here's some knives. You want some knives?" He loves knives, and and so, but Steam. It would be the smartest thing in the world for Steam to be like, oh, we have a presence on the mobile devices, cross-play, cloud saves. These devices are getting really powerful. What if we were an app store? But they don't do that. Apparently, at some point in the recent past, Epic approached Apple about, we want to put our Epic Game Store as an app store on iOS. We want to offer a storefront.
And right now, any money outside of if it goes through a Chrome browser, you're outside the loop or whatever. But any app in the store that you can download from the iOS app, they get a taste of everything.
For digital goods.
Everything.
For digital
all
goods.
the way down. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is a lot of Epic's lawsuit here, which is saying you don't give consumers the ability to choose on app stores. You don't give them to choose in terms of providers or payment processors, especially given that there is the Apple tax, the 30% generally of digital
which,
goods.
by the way, 30% didn't sound crazy 15 years ago. Sounds a little crazy nowadays. 30%? Just give me.
I mean, but then again, Apple's like, yeah.
Where else are you gonna go?
We've kept it even, Steven. We've always said it was 30%, and that's what you get for building this level of profitability.
Right.
And Apple's,
For
Apple's
doing a little thing called inventing the smartphone.
yeah.
That's
Well, I think some Android people would have issue with that, but I think Apple's argument is like, well, we provide security, we provide a stable platform for sensitive information to go through, and if we have a platform where suddenly all bets are off and people can just input their credit card into any Candy Crush whatever, who knows what goes on with that? Who knows where that data goes? Who knows what happens to that experience? And Fortnite is basically saying, well, you have a billion people using your devices. You need to be considered an anti-monopoly market.
So they're making the utility argument. They're saying
Yes.
They're saying you are a utility and as such should be deregulated or broken up or other competitors
Made competitive.
Yes. And you are not entering into reasonable negotiation. You are using your market share to impose your will. Now
man.
wait a minute, Brian. You're missing the pettiest part of this. At the moment that Apple, these are the motions in which this happens. Earlier today, they put in this thing they know they're going to get banned for. Then they get banned, and then at the same time that they file their lawsuit, they release one of Fortnite's benefits is that they do these big mass events.
Oh no.
They release 1980 Fortnite, a shot-for-shot remake of the 1983 Apple Super Bowl commercial, which, by the way, try to explain the concept of that ad to a 13-year-old. Like, all right, so there's this book, and it's called 1984, but it was written before 1984, so I know to you 1984 seems like
But then
like
eventually,
forever ago,
1984
but then,
became an actual year,
And then
during
Microsoft
that
came
year,
out in
you
that
had
year,
a
and they
forward-thinking
said-
company.
and so
that-
IBM
So wait a minute,
the
was,
Super
wait a minute,
Bowl
wait a
was a
minute.
really big
Yeah.
deal, and
Because
wait a minute,
there's this
wait a
thing
minute,
called
wait a minute.
Xerox Park, and then Steve Jobs is there's a homebrew revolution, and
oh my god.
So wait a minute, this is so coordinated that they knew they had all of this.
Knew,
This all
from-
happened in the span of hours. It happened all
So
through our
Epic
shipment.
knew,
By the way,
Epic
I just
had a
want to point
lawsuit
out-
ready to go to file.
I just
They,
want
like,
to
they
point
knew-
out that the audience's favorite part about us doing that bit just now, people were cheering for the opal.
because
we were
they
able
can
to
hear
talk
it,
over
'cause we
each
can
other.
layer. No, but Brian, actually, if you look for it, it's actually like it's a shot for shot parody. It shows you like exactly like what they want to hit. Now, whether or not Epic Games is really what Apple Computers was to IBM in 1983, I don't know if I totally buy. But certainly that is the position that they are saying. And I don't.
Donation.
Oh, you're watching a live stream.
Oh my
You've
gosh.
just gone back.
Yeah,
like
no,
1
it
hour.
is. Wow. How about that?
Go back to the search result. You're finding out.
Okay, this one. No?
But you're saying all of this was ready to go.
one?
Like they knew they were going to
Yes,
get banned.
but they do
They
commercial.
No,
had the
they-
lawsuit ready to go. They had the ad ready to go.
They shit on the
placed-
floor. They knew they were going to get kicked out of the bar, and then they had their lawyer outside ready to file the lawsuit and a fun
Wow.
short film to go along with it. Absolutely.
Mhm.
No, they knew.
Go to one of those.
They
news
knew
articles. It'll be in the news
exactly
article.
what they were doing, and beyond that, what they are doing now is effectively making this point by locking out all people that were iOS only Fortnite players. Like they might have paid for stuff inside that app, and Epic is saying, in some ways you could look at it, it's the Eric Andre meme of shooting all Fortnite iOS players and then looking at the camera and saying, why would Apple do this?
And Fortnite had the same issue. Was it a year and a half, 2 years ago, where Fortnite is on every device. It's on all of the consoles. And at the PlayStation console, especially at the time, very famously had cross-play. You could not really play between consoles. They just really only let like one game do that, and that game was not Fortnite. And so they said like when or was it the Switch? Fuck. There was a weird thing where if you ever played Fortnite on your PlayStation, it would lock you out of playing Fortnite on the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch because there was no crossplay and no one knew that they were doing. We're looking at the commercial.
Holy
here.
shit! Yeah.
Oh, and they have the Apple.
Everybody's black and white. There's a rotten apple as Big Brother. There's one full color player with a wacky horsey doll. Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984.
It's
Man,
so insane
that was prepackaged and ready to roll, dude.
It's so
Oh my
insane
God,
they just
was it?
knew. Wow.
That's crazy.
That I mean, this also reminds me, Brian, you'll appreciate this. This reminds me of any, carriage dispute between a cable company and a network.
and like a local provider or whatever,
Yeah,
local CBS
yeah.
or whatever. I mean,
more aptly, no pun intended, more aptly, the current Roku, Amazon versus HBO Max and Peacock fight
Yep.
that
Yeah.
is currently taking place.
No. Look, this is many pissing matches that, go back to your favorite cable stations, pulling themselves off carriages without a new contract. It is a pissing match between two gigantic muddied interests to fight over the future of exactly what the slice of the pie that they are going to divide going forward at the expense of consumers. Like, that is exactly what this is. And Epic knows that this lawsuit is going to go nowhere. They just want another big loud thing that's going to add to Apple's worries when it comes to this antitrust stuff. And whether or not Apple belongs in trouble for that is up to your opinion. But I wonder whether or not this is a good move for Epic, because even some of the backlash that I'm seeing online is like, wait, hold on, really? Like, you're not just going to fight about this. You're not just going to make a big noise. You're really going to have 1 billion people like not be able to play your game on any iOS device at the cost of making a point.
I know that Epic, it might be the kind of thing that they're just like, iOS is the smallest of all the divisions that we have, and we can afford to do this. I also know that Epic has their own store. And I know that Steam,
PC, yeah.
in terms of like just breadth, is bigger than all the consoles put together. So it may be. I'm gonna guess that this is all them trying to be Pepsi to Steam's Coke. That's the most generous outcome I can imagine for this.
You look at the way that they launched the Epic Games Store a couple of years ago now, which was like, hey, we are launching our own walled garden. That's how you get into Fortnite. But now we're selling all these other games, and we have a much better cut for developers. And if they use the Unreal Engine, they get an even better cut.
Right.
And with the idea of being like, hey, we're giving you competition, we're giving you choice. At the same time, also like giving out a lot of free games every month. You get 2 or 3 free games on Epic for free.
Yeah.
But also at the same time doing something that we had not really seen in the PC market, which is exclusivity on storefronts. So they would pay for, say, Red Dead Redemption 2 had a couple of months exclusivity on the Epic Game Store. A lot of smaller games are getting like 1 year exclusivity before they can go on Steam, and Epic is paying for that. They're paying to make those deals, like you would see on a console.
Right. Or like with the Oculus versus Vive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the idea being, in general, the vibe of, we are giving Steam a run for its money. We are going to try to be a better business option.
Like, in that case, if you look at the numbers and iOS is low enough on the totem pole, then it makes sense to where it's like, hey, let's make a lot of noise punching this Goliath and portraying ourselves as David, not really caring whether or not we ever beat Goliath over in the mobile market, because what we really want to do is there's a secret Goliath that we're taking on.
I mean, if you look at this and you look at them mentioning we wanted to put the Epic Game Store on iOS, and you can frame this as a way as like, hey, are you upset that you can't like buy Steam games and have play some of these PC games on
So-
your
so
phone
it's-
because they're strong enough. Like this is like
it's
we
a
are
pro-
opening the doors to a new revolution of app stores and curation on the iOS, which is
it's
certainly an emotional.
it's a
Yeah, one in which they control.
But
it's
opening
it's,
up, like it's saying, "Hey, you need to
No,
be
of
competitive."
course. Yes, no, they yes,
sounds
because
like
they
a-
want to have more of their own control of it. These
Yes.
are gatekeepers yelling at bigger gatekeepers because they want to be the bigger gatekeeper.
Well, it's a it sounds like a proxy war. Like there's a cold war between Steam and Epic, and they dare not fight directly with each other, or at least Epic dare not.
No,
So
this
instead,
is
you fight
this
a
is not
third
about
world
Steam.
country.
This is not about Steam. This is about if and I'm not to say that Epic is the bad guys, just to say that there's only one famous example of a two-front war. But if Epic is Germany, then they are fighting Russia on one side, and then they're fighting Apple on the allies on the other side. Like these are two separate issues, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also, Epic is Hitler.
Oh, jeez,
My God.
don't clip that one out. And so BioCut brings up another good point to all of this is that at the same time, before all of this started, Epic said like we're bringing the cost of V-Bucks down, so it's cheaper to buy V-Bucks, except if you pay through Apple processing.
Oh, got it.
Because they knew that this
They
like
could get 'em.
that was basically them cashing one final check before locking people into the ecosystem before they knew they were getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Like that's like you're at a bar and someone's like, hey, if you put your shoes up on that bar one more time, I'm kicking you out. And then you're like, cool, I'd like to order 50 beers.
Am I the only one a little bit surprised that Fortnite has had the longevity that it's had? Because I would have thought that, number one, the battle royale format, I would think, would fade over time. Although now that I'm saying that, Counter-Strike still is strong 25 years in.
Yeah. The other big thing for Fortnite that a lot of other games are putting in battle royale modes to take advantage of that genre.
Right.
But the other thing is like Fortnite is free. You will
Yeah.
never beat free. And then it becomes the app economic system where you have whales who are spending 20, 30, hundreds of dollars on V-Bucks
Sure,
so they can get
because they love it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they have the battle pass, so you pay $5 or something every season, and that lets you get more rewards. So it's I don't know. In a world where like
So
Call
on-
of Duty comes out every year or every however, like this is the free thing that's still there, and it is getting better and it's changing.
And they've developed it. They've
Mm-hmm.
found a way to stay relevant. Like they're as much as we can like giggle at the Fortnite Rise of Skywalker stuff. They did that Travis Scott concert,
Yeah.
and it was legit something that people non-gamers turned their heads and said, "Oh, cool, I get that.
Yeah.
That looks like something that I'd be excited for, even if I've never played the game. That was a cool idea." And they've done a really, really good job with that.
They
does
screened
it work-
Christopher Nolan stuff. Oh yeah, what's up, Mara?
So does it work so does Fortnite work in a system where it's like a world that's always there and you go in and then you shoot
No.
people?
No, it's not
Or-
like a World of Warcraft thing. It's when they have
but,
events,
but it doesn't
everybody
sound like
is.
it's a Call of Duty thing either. It doesn't sound like it.
It's more Call of Duty than it is World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and-
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Everything
100
is instanced, but you can when you have an event, they just do all the instances of it that everybody can jump in on.
Got it.
So I don't know. I think as someone who's in the Apple ecosystem, like I like that it's not riddled with a million different app
Trash.
stores, right?
A
You want to play
billion
this game? Well,
spyware
you
things.
can only get this game on the Armor Games app store.
Yeah.
That the day that happens, I'm gonna be like, what the
Man,
fuck?
here are some words I never thought I'd be saying. 100% on Apple's side on this. It's their clubhouse. They built it. It's very popular, and they've earned it, and they get to pick all the rules. Sorry, Epic, get bent. Nobody's entitled to access under the way you wish things were.
And I think users kind of understand what they're getting when they get an Apple device like
yeah,
that.
right.
I mean,
like nobody's confused. Nobody's surprised that. What you mean? not just anybody can be on this device.
Right. I can't just download a .app and install it. Like, no, you have to use the App Store. You have to use all these things.
Yeah.
And the lawsuit. There's some really interesting in the lawsuits, or in the lawsuit of like, well, Apple controls the premium smartphone market.
Oh,
well, it's
get
like,
out of here.
Well,
No.
Android dominates
Everything
all of
else.
the smartphone
Yeah,
market.
right.
So, or Apple's profit margins are very, very good. Well,
That's like arguing that Rolex needs to be broken up because they dominate the premium watch market.
they don't let you set the
Like-
custom time. They don't let you set a 13-hour day.
Yeah, right?
Well, and that's the thing, is that kids that play Fortnite with iPhones and iPads probably have parents that will let them use their credit card. Like that's what they want, is like, oh no, we want to broker a better deal. Now, that being said, Apple has made sweeter deals. They made a sweeter deal for Amazon. They launched a new tier of the App Store that was like, okay, if you serve premium content, then you get X amount of a cut, and that's why Amazon Prime came to Amazon Prime Video came to iOS. That's why Audible, now you can purchase stuff through the iOS App Store.
Yeah. A lot of which
but
doesn't
whether or
apply
not-
to Fortnite, right? A lot of that stuff is based on
No,
subscriptions.
It does. Yes, it's subscriptions, stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, it is going to be interesting, because all of Silicon Valley is on high alert for when they're going to have to change. They all know that there's going to be some kind of change, but they're not going to do a thing until the government forces them to. And legally, they probably can't. They can't start changing, because then that'll be its own way that they are affecting the situation.
It is always interesting to speak euphemistically to watch
About World War II's battlefronts.
No. Wait. Like to watch two players that one of the two players is playing a totally different game, and the other player either doesn't know it or doesn't know how to play that other game. It's like Apple is playing the game of, well, you want to have something that you want this Coke for free. We sell Cokes. We have it baked in. We built this Coke factory. You can't have a Coke for free. The other one is playing somethingawful.com, like just forum rules. Like we're here to tear shit up, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It feels like Epic is not playing the same game that Apple seems to think they're playing.
I do think there are a lot of places where the Apple ecosystem could be better. Like Netflix, right? The Netflix app, you cannot subscribe through the app. Netflix is also not allowed to say, hey, you can't subscribe through this app. You have to go to the web browser and do it.
Wait, they're not allowed to even say
They're
that?
not allowed
even
to
allowed
say
to say
that.
that.
No.
They're all like, here's an app. Man, wonder how you could get it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
With all the stuff with the Hey email stuff happened, I mean, that was pretty much the exact same issue, right?
Yeah.
If you open the app and it doesn't do anything. And I think that's kind of bubkas. I think they should have just let you sign up offsite. And for Fortnite, that's not even the issue here. Fortnite, you can do, at least as far as I understand, those V-Bucks in a lot of cases are not platform dependent. And so you could just go on Safari and buy your V-Bucks and then open up Fortnite. That's not even it. This is all about the cut, or at least a big part of this is that 30% Apple tax.
Yeah, the in-ecosystem cut. That's what this is. And that's the funniest thing. The funniest thing to me is that they want to position themselves as the underdog. They can have this fight. I'm fine with Epic having this fight. That's cool. It's their business. They can do what they want. They're certainly taking a risk because they willfully just took their own game away from a billion devices. So cool. They're putting their money where their mouth is on that. The funniest thing to me is them saying, oh, poor us, scrappy underdog. We're really sticking it to the big guy here. Like, it's a little rich.
Yeah, especially because I don't think Epic has like a great reputation in the gaming circles. For all of the Steam stuff, everyone fucking hates Epic for all of that. They hate that they got those exclusivity deals. They hate that, it's not an open market. You still have to kind of go through their process. People hate that. People online hate that.
Yeah, no, but yeah, again, it's gatekeepers fighting with gatekeepers. And they're like, hey, we keep our own gate, and it's different from the way you keep your gate, and that's disgusting, and we hate it. So we're going to do a big thing and file a lawsuit.
Man, now I just want to delete all my games. And not
Screw games.
And
You're a
you
music
know
man
why
now.
I've been out of gaming for 10 years.
There we go. We come back. Turns out Meryl won.
No, but the whole reason I was bringing this up, the reason I wanted to come on Happy Hour is I was like, what have I missed in 10 years? And I don't own any consoles, and I probably will continue not owning consoles, though the PS5 does look intriguing. And I played Portal
for the first time. The original?
First time. The original.
Wow.
Did you even make it? Did you make it to Portal 2?
I guess. So I did Portal 1 and then did Portal 2.
Okay.
Oh my God, what a delightful experience.
Mhm.
A colorful world. Both Gladys and Wheatley are fantastic. I love the mechanics. I love the puzzle solving aspect. It's like a new way to have a puzzle game. It's just so much fun. So much fun that I decided I want to stay in this universe. Let me download Half-Life. And that is not fun. That is
lies.
Half-Life 1 is a very
Rough.
different game.
The game Half-Life is giving me headaches currently.
I'm
Like, just
surprised you went
literally
with
aesthetic-
Half-Life. You got the original Half-Life?
Yeah, I got Half-Life Source, like, so
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
playing off the
Don't
Source
get
engine,
Source.
but
You should have got that. But a Black Mesa, the recreation of Half-Life, came out a few months ago, and so you might like that.
I would probably just jump right in on Half-Life 2 if you want any like Half-Life.
well, that's the other thing is I've looked up like the rest of the series. I'm like, I don't know if this is a series I will enjoy or not. Like, I want a Portal 3. Like, I want that more than I want more of Half-Life currently. And I'm
I don't know how much more. Well, Half-Life 3 is really the multiplayer mode of Portal 2, or sorry, Portal 3 would be essentially the 2-player co-op version.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
a
And
fundamentally different game.
They have a level maker now in Portal 2. They have for a little while, so there's also just tons of fan-made levels that you can dive into after that. I'm pretty sure.
I think I saw that.
If you have access to VR, Alex
I do
might
not.
be the best way to just jump in.
I've heard,
think he's
I
gonna
heard
like
everyone raving
Alex?
about Alex.
What's that?
You think he's gonna like Alex if he didn't like Half-Life?
Alex is Half-Life 1 was revolutionary at the time, specifically for its slow pacing. Like, it took its time in a way that no other game did. Like, it opens with a 10-minute tram ride, and you're not allowed to do anything for 10 minutes, right? Alex doesn't do that. It's a different world 25 years later.
I appreciate the mechanics of Half-Life, the world of Half-Life. Look, Counter-Strike was one of my mainstay games, so the actual dynamics of the system I'm very accustomed to. But it's just something about maybe it's just because it's a 90, it's a 20-year-old game, so maybe that's part of it. Like, but although there are other 20-year-old games that I enjoy playing, I just find it fascinating that it doesn't, like, even though it's the same people, it's just in the same universe. I'm not loving it. I loved Portal so much. Just the way that whole thing was crafted, particularly Portal 2. Like, that final run in Portal 2, the final running behind the scenes that leads you to the final battle with Wheatley is so much fun and so engaging. And I just feel like I want to find more of that experience if I can.
Yep.
To think on that.
So the Beatles, they're good.
If you want one last bit of entertainment news, did you guys see the new Disney Plus announcement?
No.
Which one?
Coming to Disney Plus. Do they have a date for this yet? November 17, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, God.
A 45-minute special.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. It's like
It's got a wink and a nod to the original holiday special. It's
that has been beloved because we are all unified in hating it. But when the creators of it are like, and now we're gonna make money on your hate, it's like it's hard for me to hate it.
Well, but it's Lego, right? So Lego's brand cinematically
is very
parody.
in on the joke. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's parody, right? Like it's you know, the Lego Batman is this brute. I mean, it's probably the funniest parody of the like rebooted Nolan Batman character that we've kind of ever seen. And so I think for them, they're like, oh, okay, if anyone's gonna parody the Star Wars holiday special, Lego to me seems like the people that'll do it. And also they have the unique ability to make legitimately funny parody while working within the license that they have. Like it's easy to just do like,
Mhm.
ha ha ha, let's just send up the Star Wars holiday special. It's a lot more of a tricky thing to do, which Lego has done by staying within the license and doing it in a way that actually uses all the characters that we know and love.
It's also just smart. I heard this announcement. I thought that's just really smart because you already have Traveler's Tale, who makes all of these Lego video games.
Mhm.
So they've got all of these assets. There's nothing that's like not already
Right.
made for this. So you just have
And all
voice
the
acting.
original art is going to be of a sufficient quality that you're going to be able to put it on, the big screen or the
Right.
small screen.
And then
What I
you get
find-
voiceovers, and reading this USA Today article, it's like they're not even going to have all of the film actors, so they may pull in from the Lego Star Wars video games. So,
Yeah, I presume that this is going to be 80% just a Star Wars parody thing, and then 20% they're going to make a Life Day joke and a Lumpy joke and have what was it, Jefferson Starship sing or some like
Yeah.
wink and a nod to stuff like that.
Have
But
Maude.
otherwise it'll
Well, yeah, 'cause
it'll
I
mostly just be a Star Wars humor.
I imagine there aren't that many of Disney Plus's main demographic, which is children, that actually even know what the holiday special is. I think that every generation falls off on understanding that joke. So I think they'll throw in a couple things for the the parents that are watching with their kids that special. But in that, and on top of that, I understand that Lucas doesn't note it anymore. But in the same vein, you don't want to piss off Grandpa, and if you go too far on that,
Grandpa
you are going to
already
piss off Grandpa.
hates it. Like Grandpa has publicly said he wishes he could erase every copy of it ever. So if all you
Yeah.
do is trash the original special, then Grandpa will
But
be
he al-
very
but he-
pleased.
yeah, but part of that hate comes out of because it exists. He wants it to not. He wants every VHS copy ever made that circulates on bootleg to not exist. So if you start popularizing even just the existence of it, you're gonna piss off Grandpa.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
it's-
look,
he
look.
can
I think
sit
a lot of that. Yeah, number one, he can cry in his money. Number two, like that I think comes from a world. Terror Train, is that the movie with David Copperfield in it? There is a story that I've heard is true that there's an old horror movie called Terror Train, and David Copperfield stars in it as a magician, and David Copperfield, the magician, hates it so much that when he was on tour, he used to make sure that every town he stopped in, he would go to the local video store, buy all of their copies so they could be destroyed.
wow.
Like that's how much he
Wow.
hated it, right?
Holy crap.
That might be the most
I love
David
that.
Copperfield thing I've ever heard.
That's I love that.
Like there's nothing
awesome.
about that I don't absolutely
I'm gonna
instantly
destroy-
100% believe.
But
I'm
by
gonna
the way,
destroy this
it
by
comes
buying.
Mhm.
yeah, it comes from a world where that mattered. Right. In that world, in the world that Lucas created the holiday special, if he could just get to the master tapes and he could find all the tapes that were done. Remember, this is pre-VCR for a lot of this stuff, or at least copying tapes. You could erase it from the face of the earth. Like you could just have it not be there. We're a couple decades away from the idea that all you need is one thing and it gets uploaded to the internet and now it's forever and it'll never go away at all, ever. So I think, I don't know. If I were to guess, I would say most of this would just be general Star Wars parody. There's going to be a few winks and a nods, but it's going to be a lot more celebration of a touchstone that used to be this geek lore cred kind of thing and now is its own. It's kind of beloved. The Star Wars holiday special is kind of beloved. Even the references that I'm making binds us, as opposed to us being like, boo, fuck this.
Yeah, if I was gonna
Yeah.
guess, like I certainly trust the Lego team more than I trust the Family Guy team or the what was
Chicken.
the
Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken team. Yeah. So I think
And
you're
the
right.
Robot
Like,
Chicken one was good.
was it?
I thought it was fine as someone who doesn't know Star Wars.
Yeah. All right.
that was
Well,
pretty good.
I suspect I'm with you, Justin. That I think the
Yeah.
Lego team will be even better.
Yeah. No, Robot Chicken, I thought, I mean, there were a couple classic, really funny Robot Chicken bits. The funniest non sequitur was Boba Fett and Lando Calrissian, and they're looking over at Boba Fett's ship, and Lando's like, "Great ship, not crazy about the name."
it was
And
Slave One.
It's just, and it's just, and it's just one of those things where it's like that was it. They didn't go anywhere else. It was a cut in, cut out, and like if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. But I thought that was that, and then the what's it called? The call to the Emperor.
Oh yeah,
from-
where the Emperor's rolling his eyes and he's hearing Anakin cry and he's
Yeah.
doing jerk off motions like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy, come on.
That was classic stuff. And look, I think that for Lego's created an amazing parody brand for themselves. Like it's undeniable that they've really done well in terms of making funny stuff. So all more power to them.
Hells yeah. All right, that's it. That's an hour. We were happy for it. Thank you to everybody who joined us and our patrons at patreon.com/Night Attack. We'll see you guys. Thank you, Mero Bar.
Happy hour.